Eni Aluko and Joe Cole have watched it with me. It was a good game, wasn't it? I think they'll both take something from it. We talked about who more. You think probably both thought Bournemouth more.
Yeah, definitely Bournemouth. Second half, they were brilliant. You know, Semenyo was exceptional. We talked about him before the game. Obviously, he got the goal, and then he's defending, tracking back, when it was getting tight at the end. But I think Chelsea, this is a bit of a trend now. They can't see teams off. It happened against Palace. It happened against Ipswich. They get ahead, they dominate, and then they can't see teams out, let teams back in it, and then it's a disappointment. The last 5 games, that's been the trend. They've got to fix that. They've got to figure out how to see teams out of games and really dominate and win the game.
But there's something, as we all stood in the corner and waited to come and talk about a defeat, in not allowing that to be, and Reece James stepping up and delivering.
They showed character. You look at the positives. You look at the start of the game. It was electric, and then we were saying how much they enjoyed themselves. But go character. Reece James coming back from injury. He's had a hellish time. It's horrible. I've been in that situation when your body's letting you down, and that moment will mean so much. I think the keeper's blindsided. The keeper's blindsided there, and you'd always say to goalkeepers, if you get beat on the wall side, it's your problem. But he's hit it. It's gone in off the post. I'm just really pleased.
He spotted the gap.
Yeah,
he spotted the gap. And him and Cole Palmer were talking just before, and you could see Cole Palmer going, "You have it," because I think there was an expectation maybe for Cole Palmer to take it. I think he's tricked him a little bit there.
And having 2 wizards, left footer and a right footer, that affects the goalkeeper's position. It might only be by 6 inches here,
because he takes a little weight to the other side, doesn't he, Travers, and then he can't get across.
Yeah, and listen, I don't blame the goalkeeper. I think it's a fantastic finish.
And it started so well as well, didn't it, Chelsea? In between there was a few issues, but at the start of the game they came out the traps good, didn't they? And this was a lovely goal.
We said it at half time, they looked like they were really having fun out there. It's a brilliant play from Nicholas Jackson and a brilliant run from Cole Palmer. And I mean, this is cool stuff from Cole Palmer. Cole Palmer doing Cole Palmer stuff. And the only criticism I have for Chelsea is I think they're a bit too dependent on him doing these. I think when Cole Palmer's not scoring, someone else has got to step up. Whether it's Jackson finishes in chances, a bit more personality. I was a bit surprised when Kunku didn't come on today because he's got goals in him as well. But this player, he's exceptional, and I think Chelsea have just got to figure out, without him scoring goals, what else? Yeah. What else have they got?
Yeah, I thought. There's so much quality. Second Kunku, you got João Felix coming off Neto. There's so much ability. So much. They just need to find that last little bit to see teams off.
Yeah, I guess the fact that Bournemouth have done so well in games like this season, beaten big name sides, that's probably what fuels their belief that they keep going. They get back into the game.
Well, it'll be interesting to hear from the manager just the mentality now against these big sides. They've beaten Arsenal, Spurs, Man United. Great point today against Chelsea. Clearly the mentality now, even though Bournemouth, they're like, we're not bothered if it's a big team. We can make them uncomfortable. We can score goals. They've got players like Semenyo that can score goals. So it's really good to see the mentality from Bournemouth coming into these big games. Yeah, this is obviously relatively early in the second half. They go on the front foot, Bournemouth. Whatever's been said at half time, again, it's really galvanised them. And Caicedo, it's clever from Semenyo, isn't it? Because he gets across him and then he's got nowhere to go.
Listen, this is systems. Caicedo's looking to, he's rotating him to midfield, and when you're on a quick counter attack, so you're going to be out of position, and you've got to be really calm there. You can't make the tackle. Caicedo's lunging in. Semenyo does well, cuts across him, misses a penalty, and Kluivert dispatches it. That's his 6th in a row. He's turned into a bit of a specialist. He
always goes down the middle. This is very smart. He sort of waits for the goalkeeper to move and goes down the middle, which I think is underrated with penalties. Sometimes I think players feel like they've got to go either side. Sometimes going down the middle, it gets the
until
result
some goalie's brave enough to stand still, and then he's going to have to change his plan. It rarely happens. It's true. And then one gets 2. Semenyo again, obviously goal scorer. Is it tough on Achimpong? Did he gets kind of done down the outside?
It's difficult. It's a great touch there, and then he sizes him up. No, not an Achimpong. That is a lovely finish, and this is a top quality player. He receives the ball on the back foot, bang, then he's at him. Stands him up, and you have to go high. If you go near, you have to go high. The goalkeeper can't. It's gone past him before the goalkeeper can react. Some people might say you don't get beat on a near post, but I think that's a blanket statement. I think when it's hit with that much pace and venom, look, he hasn't even got a chance to move his hands there. It's just a fantastic finish from Semenyo, who was, I think, the player on the pitch tonight. I thought we done, apart from the goal and winning the penalty and everything else, defensively, breaking the lines, everything he done was outstanding.
There's plenty more he may feel aggrieved about is the decision to yellow card rather than red card David Brooks for shall we call it a coming together with Mark Cucurella.
I think it was a bit of more than a coming together.
They'd had their ongoing spat, hadn't they, during the whole game?
Listen, I think Brooks is lucky to get a yellow card. Yeah, I think it's very clear that he's stopped Cucurella on the counter attack. He's come into contact with him. It's pretty much a WWF style clothesline, to be honest with you. But listen, I don't mind referees using a bit of discretion here, because there was a bit of coming together in the first half with Cucurella and Brooks. He didn't give Cucurella a yellow card, and he's maybe tried to balance it out. All things considered, he's given him a yellow card. I'm all right with that. Do you know what I mean? Other people say, yeah, but the rules of the game, it's got to be black and white. But referees, I think, have the discretion to go, do you know what, actually, balance it out, yellow card for now, and you move on.
We heard from PGMOL during the game. They were, as they sometimes can be, quick to put their point of view. They said, in the view of the ref who had a look, it was reckless but not dangerous.
Yeah, I think that it's a difficult job for them, right? Because they're trying to put words on it. What was that incident? That was an incident where Cucurella has done Brooks early on. Cucurella's as good as there is in world football at the dark arts. He'll run into people. We've seen him rolling around. We've seen him. He's one of them types of players that he wouldn't have got away with that in the 90s and the 90s, because players would have sorted him out. But Brooks, he's had a rush of blood. He's seen it. He saw his opportunity, and he's done him. So in that sense, and he's right. It's a red card, rule of the law. But I like it. Yeah. I like it when referees can look at the player, understand the character, understand Brooks' frustration, because Brooks, we all thought he was going off with concussion in the first half because he's run into Cucurella's elbow. I don't mind referees having that ability, but when the PGML starts to put names on it, it's a very difficult situation for the ref, and I thought it was the right decision. Although I can understand Chelsea, and I'm Chelsea. I would have wanted Chelsea to play against 10 men and win the game, but I like refereeing a game like that. I think it stops all of the nonsense. The players going down, holding their face and all that, which we don't like to see.
Final thought on your old team, Chelsea?
Yeah, I just think they need to sort out the second half of games, and really ramp it up. Don't get too comfortable with good.
Yeah, you need to be a little bit lucky with that, because we took Ibu out, who's normally a big threat in set pieces. But we all know Jot can score a goal. Costas has a good set piece. So yeah, we brought them in to score a goal during the game or in the end of the game, but they immediately did it after 20 seconds.
And you spoke pretty much about the Forest defence. I mean, it could have been more, couldn't it, had it not been for their goalkeeper and some of the saves?
Yeah, the goalkeeper, but definitely also the defenders, because I think the goalkeeper had to make a few incredible saves, but their defenders also prevented some shots on target, because they blocked almost every shot. I couldn't have asked for more. Second half performance was outstanding. There are not many teams that can create so many chances against a team that's defensively so strong. And unfortunately, we couldn't score the second.
That's the thing, isn't it? They're quite happy for you to have the ball. How does that affect the dynamics and obviously the way you then have to go and try and break them down?
It's so difficult. I said it after the United game. Every time you have the ball, you have to go past 11 players, because the other team, when the goalkeeper has, they kick it long. So that's also the strength. So first you have to defend it, which is difficult enough because Wood and all these fast wingers. So first you have to win the second ball, and if you win the second ball, they just go back in a low block with 11 players around the 18-yard box, and then with such a good defenders and a good goalkeeper, it's so hard for every team to create here. That's why I was so happy with our second half performance, because it was just one chance after another if we played, because there was also a lot of moments where it took a while before the restart was there.
I was going to say, there seemed to be a lot of frustration on the sidelines. What was the main cause of that, do you feel?
Us being 1-0 down or being 1-1, that's always the main reason to be frustrated. And then you want as much playing time as you can, but the team that's happy with the current result wants as less playing time as they possibly can. So there were, for example, a moment where they went to the floor, there was not a head injury, and the referee blows his whistle, there's not even treatment. Those are moments you try to say, okay, this is maybe what they want, and let's try to prevent that. But yeah, that's not why we had a draw. I think Nottingham Forest can look back at a very good game, defended really well, and we can look back at a very good second half.
And that's the thing, as we head into the Premier League in the new year. I mean, are you satisfied with your team, or do you feel that they're better now than they were the last time you played Nottingham Forest?
Oh, we were definitely better than the last time we played Forest. That wasn't that difficult though. We didn't create much chances back then, we created a lot today. So second half of the season is always more difficult. You've already faced the team, they know us better, they know our playing style even better. Some teams even bring players in during the winter break or bring a new manager in. So the second half, and they have to fight for every point. So here at Forest they want to stay up where they are. And next week maybe you can face a team that's in a relegation battle. So to win in the second half of the season is always harder than in the first. But if we can continue bringing these performances in like we did the second half, then we will not always be that unlucky that it ends with a draw.
Thank you for talking to us.
You're welcome.